Well guys, we are back with another high risk portfolio update and a long overdue one at that. A lot has changed since we last looked at this about 6 or so weeks ago. And those of you with eagle eyes, you will notice that I added another £1,000 to this portfolio. I've sold a few stocks, added some new ones and built on some existing positions. A lot has changed in those last few weeks. The market has been extremely volatile as of late. We've had some vaccine news not too long ago which gave the market a nice big green day. We've seen lots of speculative positions selling off, and then as of late we've kind of been trading a bit more sideways. So before I jump into showing you the changes that I have made, please remember that this portfolio is not my main portfolio, okay? This is just a high risk, more speculative one that I've created on the side. These stocks are a lot more volatile, so they're going to take a lot longer to either recover or to reach that growth potential and get me some nice gains. But with that being said, of course, I do see potential in all of these, else I wouldn't have invested. And I do actually own many of these in my main portfolio as well. So before we get into it, if you could smash the like button and subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already, that is of course greatly appreciated. So without further ado, let's get into it. So since that last video about 6 or 7 weeks ago, I have sold out of 3 different stocks and added it into 4. I'm going to quickly be transparent here and tell you the ones I've sold. They're all very small positions. There was just 3 of them, like I said. The first one was IAG. I mentioned I was probably going to sell that. It was a tiny position of about £10. Took a very small loss. They had a share offer in and it wasn't looking exciting for me as an investor. Better places to put the money. So I sold out of that. Sold out of Park Hotels as well. Made a very small profit on that, had about £40 invested, and sold out of Shell, the energy company, and make a very small profit on that as well, about £20 invested. So IAG, Park Hotels and Shell all gone. And onto the 4 that I have added. So I'm not going to go into too much detail on all of these because they are all very speculative positions, as is this portfolio, high risk / speculative. You may not have heard of all of these. However, I have actually covered a couple on my channel before. One of which is WORKHORSE. Now I bought into WORKHORSE a while ago now, literally not long after that video, about 6 weeks ago, and it's been on an up and down, up and down. You may have heard of them. I have a whole video out. I'm going to leave that in the link in the description below. Feel free to check it out. But in a nutshell, it is an EV delivery company, kind of similar to UPS, DHL, but it's EV, right? Electric vehicle, okay? And there's a lot riding on a contract, etc. Check out the video to learn a bit more about WORKHORSE. It is definitely a speculative position. I have 11.5 shares of WORKHORSE in this particular account. And the next ones I haven't really covered on this channel before, but 2 of them are very similar, and that is Ttcf and Beyond Meat. Okay, they are both in the vegan sector, plant-based food companies. I own 18 shares of Ttcf. I'm going to put that just there in this account, and 1.57 of Beyond Meat in this account as well. And basically, these are very similar companies. Beyond Meat has a lot more of a market cap. It is a lot more established, and Ttcf is relatively new. I bought in on Ttcf when it was Spac Stocks, so when it was merging as FMCI. It has since gone on to complete that merger, and it is now officially Ttcf. So a long time ago I bought into these, and I was adding a little bit more here and there. So 2 positions there that I do actually hold both of these in my main portfolio, and happy to keep adding to them, to be honest. And the last one that I added since the last video was Upwork. Big gains on Upwork at the moment. Upwork is basically, have you heard of Fiverr before? I have a video on Fiverr. Very similar. It's a freelancing website online, and obviously with the lockdown and the pandemic, etc., it has had huge gains. So that is these companies there in a nutshell. But like I say, I have a whole video on WORKHORSE. And as for Ttcf and Beyond Meat, I'm definitely going to create a video on them coming up. I just haven't got around to it yet. So moving on now, let's have a look at the rest of the portfolio. First one up is Barclays. This was in my how to invest £100 video quite a while back now. I'm going to keep that one up until a year. I'm going to hold on to these stocks and not add to them or touch them because, like I say, they were in that video. Barclays was one of them, and we're up 51%, which is very nice gains. And you can see here all the way from the start of October, it's just been going up and up and up. So it's done very well. The second company on that list was BP. Very small position here, just £21, and it is down 7%. It's had quite a nice little run as of the last month or so. It's not a stock I'm looking to hold for a long time. There's only a small position, but like I say, I can't add to this because it was in my £100 video. So we're down ever so slightly on that 7%. And the third and final one in that was EasyJet, which has done the opposite here. It's had very good gains. We're up 81%. Well, like I say, just 8 shares again in that. 81%, £32 there. And that's been on a run as well ever since the news came out about the vaccine, really, since the end of October. It is a company I do like. I hold in my main portfolio as well, actually. And yeah, we're sitting on very nice gains from EasyJet overall. So back now here to the rest of the portfolio, and we're going to run down in order. Beyond Meat was the one I added. I mentioned that at the start of this video, and we're currently sitting up 8%. I only bought into that very recently, and the reason why was because of this. It's had a very big sell-off. It hit highs there of about almost $200 per share, $195 to be precise, and it crashed all the way down to about $125. However, they have a lot of prospects going forward. I'm going to go into a lot more detail on these in a separate video. It is a long-term play, and to be sitting up 8% as we currently are, I'm very happy with that. Next up, a company that you guys know I really like, Carnival, CCL. Boy, was they hit hard. Now, obviously, I didn't start this portfolio till quite late, so I didn't manage to get in at that drop on this one. But yeah, if you are sitting around that level, like many people are, about the $8, $10 level, you are laughing right now because it's currently at $23 already. And even on this account, which I got in very, very late, I'm up 17.8% on this one. There's obviously two here. This is the US. This is on the US stock exchange, and then I've also hold the UK stock exchange one as well. Both of which are sitting up. This one's 13%, and the other one is 17%. And you can still see here from the year we're down 53%. So there's still a long way to go before any sort of pre-crash levels. And even if it doesn't go that far, this is easily a 100% gain in my opinion. Risky and speculative, yes. However, if you're holding this until we get some news about the vaccine and still start operating again and start seeing good earnings, I think there is lots of money to be made holding on to CCL. Then we have Delta Airlines, just 3 shares of these, but once again we're sitting on very nice gains already for the airlines, considering they're still not really at any sort of operational level as they was. 33% up on these. £23.93. Now we're going on to one that was a really small position, actually my smallest position, but now I have built this one up in this high risk portfolio to 30 shares. That is Hollywood Bowl, and look at the recovery. If I just take you to the 3 months here, we had a straight line right up there from the vaccine news and earnings, etc. Very, very good. It's at £1.98 per share, and we got this at £1.40 per share. I wish I actually bought a lot more on this portfolio, but I didn't, so probably not going to be adding more at these prices because we are only down 17%. Maybe I will add a bit more if there's a pullback potentially, but for now we're sitting on some gains there of almost 40% on Hollywood Bowl. Going back to one that has been on what a ride, Helion Holdings. Where do we start with these? I added these, I made a video on these. This was episode 2, adding into Ttcf acquisition, which was Helion prior to the merger, and I bought in originally around about the $20 mark, and I kept adding more and more, so my average is $26. I was on with these all the way up until this ride here when it went $55. Well, I was up about 140% at one point. Now we're sitting at minus 30%. But nevertheless, we hold on to these, potentially even add more at these prices. I do really like Helion. Then we go to another one that I'm quite down on at the moment, but unlike Helion, I will definitely be adding more because I love this company. Ttcf, plant-based company, relatively new. Also at a pre-merger, I bought in quite low and then kept buying more and more. It was FMCI at one point, and then it merged, become Ttcf, and once again a massive ride. Went up to about $28 per share, and now we're down $16. I bought in at just below 20 on my average price, but it was a lot cheaper than that originally. We're down 21%, but at these prices I will definitely be adding more, but like I haven't got any more in this current portfolio. But when there is more free cash in this portfolio, I will build this position. I'm very bullish on Ttcf overall. Then we move on to the big gun, Tesla. Everybody knows Tesla. I bought in these on my last video, and it's the largest holding in this one, £562 at the moment, up 84.5%. Average price there of 324, and you guys know how late I bought them on this account. Very late. This is probably my largest holding, I think, overall now. But yeah, very late I bought in on this one, up 84.5%. Just 4 more positions here. Next one is TUI. I've held TUI for quite a long time. I took a lot of profit from TUI. But in this portfolio, we are finally up in the green. We're up 12.5% on these, and there's still a lot of room for growth for these. We look at this, we're down still 56% from pre-crash levels, and that's to be expected. Nobody's traveling, nobody's booking flights, nobody's booking package holidays, etc. at the moment. So when we do start doing that, I do think we're going to see a very nice green day from these. And this green is just going to keep going higher and higher. Next up, we have another big gainer, Upwork, 59% up at the moment. Look at this graph. It's relatively new. I bought in originally around about the $15 mark, kept buying some more, and we have an average now of 21.21 on this account, and we're up 59%. Now we have potentially my favorite position overall. Very, very bullish on these. Absolutely love this Virgin Galactic. Now this is the pinnacle here of high risk and speculative. This graph is up and down all the time. You definitely have a very roller coaster of a time if you're holding on to Virgin Galactic. I have a whole video on these from the previous one. I'm going to make another video coming up very soon as well. Check that out. Links are in the description below of what this company is. They want to send people to space, basically. How about that? That is the future right there. We're up 61% at the moment. This has been down 30%, up 20%, all over the place. But at the moment, we are sitting on green. I wouldn't be surprised if next time you see this, we're in red. That's the kind of company it is at the moment, but this is a long-term hold. 10 shares, up 61%. And the last two here, Whitbread, just 2 shares. This is basically Premier Inn, Brewers Fayre, so restaurants and hotels around the UK. And we're up quite nice on these actually, 33.69%. This is one that I may consider selling out because I'm not looking to add to it. So just having 2 shares there, it's not really that exciting. I may well take the profits off this one and put it into another company. And the last company up is WORKHORSE. Now I've done a video on these, like I've already mentioned, links in the description below, but this is just a very volatile company. Look at this, we crashed all the way down, we were sitting on huge losses, and I believe, yeah, we're still down ever so slightly, 6.10%, but you know what, next time you see this, anything could happen. We could be up in the green if they get their contract. If they don't get it, we could be pretty much at zero. You know, this is a very, very volatile company, probably the most, I'd go as far to say is one of the most volatile ones on this particular portfolio. But we have 11.5 shares and we're down currently 6%. So where are we at on this portfolio? Overall gains at the moment, I'm going to put this up again in a minute, but just so you can see it right now, the market is open. We are up 22.81% at the moment. You can see my investing graph here has been up and down, you know, some red days there, some big green days, and we hit 22.93. We're now on 22.81%. And last time we saw this, we was at 13.44%, but obviously there was a lot less invested. So that was a gains of £134. And at this moment in time, we're gaining £450. So a lot more gains at the moment. And, you know, this is really early days. You know, I don't get too excited by this, but it is obviously nice to see in green. But this should go a lot higher. This should double, hopefully, in the next year or two at least. So there's a lot of room for growth here, and obviously I want to keep adding on this position. So I am quite happy with these positions that are currently in this portfolio, and there's many in here that I will consider adding to as well. Many of these I hold in my main portfolio as well. I've said this many times in this video, but this is a high risk portfolio, okay? It's going to take time to actually recover. We're going to see some red days in the coming months as well, so there's going to be plenty more opportunity to pick up these stocks at even cheaper prices. It's not a short-term portfolio. This is a long-term, higher risk and more speculative portfolio, okay? Things may change if fundamentals change, but for now I'm happy with where this is currently at, and I will continue to add on to some of these positions. We was up 13.44% last time we saw this, and now I'm not going to say it just because the market is open, so it may change, but we are considerably higher right here. We was up 13.44, which was £134, and now you can see what we're up right now. Please remember to always do your own research when investing into the stock market. This is not financial advice. I am not a financial advisor, and if you are planning on investing, do that research because this is speculative. Okay, you got to have strong hands to hold on to many of these companies. Let me know down in the comments below what you think of my new additions, maybe the stocks I sold, and also if you have any other ideas of some stocks I could potentially look into or add to this portfolio, let me know, because you know I'm happy to keep building on this. I'm not going to keep this at 2,000. This is going to keep growing and growing along with my main portfolio as well. So let me know down below. Thanks for watching, and please hit the like and subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already. Until next time.